Hey, welcome back to Crystal's Tarot, or welcome if you're new. Please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. It would really help my channel to grow and help with my algorithm, and I would really appreciate that. We're going to go ahead and get into your reading. This is actually just a bonus for you, Gemini, because you're super awesome, and I appreciate you so much. This is going to be a little bonus reading, so I'm not sure exactly where it's going to go. We're just going to see what Spirit wants to talk about and talk about it. So the first card, we also just have oracles right now. I haven't pulled out any tarot or any other oracles. Right now it's the Mystical Journey Oracle that I'm using. Looks like this. So, Gemini, you have shadow work, number 29, breaks down to 11. Life review, 36, breaks down to a 9. Connection, 31, breaks down to a 4. Resistance, 14, breaks down to a 5. Eternal self, 23, also breaks down to a 5. And then breaking free, 32, also breaks down to 5. So a couple of things with that I'm noticing. Bottom of the deck is growth, number 1. And that's actually the bottom of the deck is growth, and the card number is number 1. So with this energy, your last 3 cards ending basically 14, 23, and 32, all those being 5, I feel like there's a lot of change, a lot of like harsh reality acceptances, harsh reality checks for some of you or the people in your environment. Take it as it resonates. I feel like there's a lot of change coming in, or you're settling into the change that you've created or you're still creating. The bottom 2 cards right here, I just noticed it's 23 and 32. Those are mirroring energies. So right here, under breaking free is directly under connection. So I feel like there's some sort of like, some of you are releasing or have released from a connection to move forward towards you, to be healthier yourself, be balanced more in yourself, to have your wish fulfillment, your like, I feel like there was a lot of doing other people wanted and expected, and now you're like following your journey for you, for Gemini. What does that look like to you? And you're planning and plotting that out, and like going through the rough terrain. It's like it's new adventures for you. But I feel like there's this mirroring energy, right, Gemini? So right here you have connection and resistance right next to each other. I feel like you have traumatically experienced love, and to the point it hurts. It's not the kind of love that's love. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is not anger. It is slow to, it is not boastful. Go read your Bible if you need to, or whatever it is. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, I think. But love, like, I feel like a lot of people, I love you. Like we say things, but not everybody knows what that means. Like, what is it to really love somebody? Like, a lot of people, like, they expect something, but like they don't have I don't feel like it, like people are really aware what's all involved in that. Like when you love somebody, like there's moments you're going to have to sacrifice your needs, your wants, your desires over theirs. And it doesn't make them bigger or better. It doesn't make you bigger or better. It's just, it's part of the connection, right? It's part of the ebony and flow of life. Part of being in a connection. But I feel like you have not experienced healthy connections, Gemini. I feel like right here with connection and resistance, I feel like it's like, and it right here, she kind of looks like a, what is it, a mermaid. So I felt like there was like, hold on, I got a couple of things. Love feels like it's like from another planet. It's something you can look at or see in other people, but you haven't yet experienced it, or not to the way that you should, or like a healthy way. I feel like it's been kind of it's been restricted. It's been it's not been healthy, right? I feel like there's like also there's like this energy of you have a lot of playful energy when it comes to love and in your connection and in how you want to enjoy it, right? But I feel like it's been a struggle to get there, a struggle for your partner to connect with you, to like see you emotional, like, yeah, see you on an emotional level. I feel like people see Gemini as like playful and like very, very smart, very talkative, but also there is an emotional element in there too, right? Like once you like, if you're good enough or amazing enough to like penetrate Gemini's like borders, walls, like Gemini is very loving, very kind, and even beyond like getting past our borders and walls, I feel like just in general, Gemini is very kind, loving, and affectionate, very happy, tries to be, right? And I feel like there's an energy of love did not play nicely in the energies where it should have. And I felt like now there's an energy within you that you've healed things. You felt your pain and you've allowed it to transform you. You've witnessed and acknowledged your hurt, to the point like you learned something, you transitioned from it, you what is it called, like you I lost my word. Like you blended into your environment, right? Like you went with how, like, it's like chameleon energy, right? Like you blended in, like you felt like, okay, this is how it's supposed to work. This is what I'm going to do. But it wasn't necessarily you. You were just blending in. You were doing what everybody was expecting you to do. I felt like you just blended in, right? But there's something, there was like some good that came out of it. Some, I don't know, but I just felt like there was this energy, like there was hurt that you suffered, that you had to go back and look at, that you were trying not to look at, because Gemini doesn't want to, like, nothing serious, right? We want to play. We're the kids, want to have fun. But I felt like there was something that you had experienced in life that you had to sit through it. You had to experience it. You had to take it on the chin and learn your lesson. And you did. And I felt like you've grown and you healed a lot, but there's still this energy of like, 6 feet, please. I keep your distance. I got to be safe. I got to, like, we're only going to keep it at safe distance. And I feel like there's still something within you that is like, still needs tending to. I feel like there's something that you saw as magical once upon a time, like not part of a real reality, or like you saw it as magical once upon a time, but now you don't see it as part of your reality. Like it's not real. Like it's a unicorn, right? Something that you once had like faith and hope in, you see as a unicorn. Like it's not real. It's fake. I remember when it's like this energy of like, it's a childish energy. I feel like for some of you, it's like, there's a couple of different ways here. Like there's like, for some of you, I feel like somebody from your past kind of knows secrets or things about you that you feel guarded by. You feel like those are intimate details, right? And I feel like you would like to trust this person. Like you would like to believe that they're bigger and better. Like you would like to believe that pigs fly. It's like that kind of energy. Like something's not possible, but you something's not possible, but you remember when you thought it was. I don't know. It's kind of sad. Gemini is like this energy of like, some of you might have like lost a person, place, or thing, something you cared about and valued, and you lost it. And so now it's like, it's a callous wound, but there's still like, it's like Beauty and the Beast, right? Nobody goes to the West Wing. Like you don't touch that energy. You try not, like, when it comes across your mind, you dismiss it really quick. When you're I feel like that's mostly what it is. When it comes across your mind, you dismiss it quick. You don't like to talk about it. You like get through it and get out. You don't like to have this residual energy because it hurts. It's a disappointment. But there's still this like energy of like this little kid energy of once upon a time. I remember when I thought, hi Rhonda. Oh, well, happy birthday to Pisces. Oh, that's cool. That's freaking cool. See, what pigs fly sometimes. But I felt like you think about this, like this nostalgic energy, you think about it, but it's like painful. So it's like you guard it at the same time. It's like you only allow, it's like certain days you can tolerate it and other days not at all. But there's some sort of energy here, like whatever this was for you, like you see how her eyes are closed, like there's this connection, there's this bridge here, but there's like somebody doesn't see it. It's not really there. It's not available, but it, I don't know how to say that. It's like, for some of you, somebody watches you and you don't know it. But I felt like there's this energy of somebody who's trying to build a bridge, like fix something to, like somebody wants to connect with you, Gemini, and they don't know how. Sorry, that's a side note. But this energy, you're fond of this energy, and like it's like a sweet escape. You remember those commercials of like they're at work and they get the little call from the coconut? It's like an escape real quick. I feel like that's what this is for you. Like from time to time, you allow yourself to daydream. But I feel like you're like, it's this, you're reviewing, okay, with the review and the growth, I feel like you're like making yourself be realistic currently. Like you don't allow yourself to drift too far in your thoughts. Like you're trying to be realistic. I feel like you've healed a lot, but there's still elements within you that you're still working on and improving. There's something that you had wished had, like, I don't know, something like potential didn't, like fruition. I don't know if that makes sense. Like potential didn't develop. Potential, there's potential just frozen in time somewhere. And that could be a relationship, a connection, an education for some of you. I just feel like there was something that kind of got off the ground, but it didn't. And it's just frozen in time because it still has some of your energy tied up, and it might have the other person's, or there's something, there's like frozen energy tied up somewhere in time. See? Yeah, it's like it's still there, but it's I don't know how to say it. It's like this, right? It's like if you were in a museum and there's like this painting or this art from like centuries ago, and it's on display, but it's under lock and key and nobody could touch it, but you can see it. I feel like it's like that kind of somewhat energy. It's like it exists, but it's locked up. You can't touch it, but it's a nice thing to look at. It's a nice thing to see and to imagine. Yeah. So it's that kind of energy of like, I remember that, and it's like, it's very magical. It's very like when you think about it, or when you're in those feelings or those thoughts, like you, like just your brains, your thoughts, like I feel like it takes you off in a million directions, right? Because you're Gemini, a million thoughts we're thinking. I feel like some of them are happy, some of them are passionate, some of them are excited, some of them are like cause you to feel angry and frustrated. Some of them are playful, some of them are very like nurturing and affectionate, very exotic, erotic. They're just like your thoughts just take you. And I feel like it's like there's something still, Gemini. You're still learning yourself more. You don't know the full you yet. You still haven't learned all that there is. There's a lot still within you to discover. And I felt like your inner self is just waiting. Like, I don't know, it's not just your inner self. It's like your two twins want to, like, I don't know, it's like there's this energy of like you don't fully know the full you yet, and it's amazing. It's beautiful inside and out. It's playful, it's funny, it's very passionate, it's very loving and nurturing and kind, but it's also very strong and brave as well. There's a lot that you're still discovering about yourself. Yeah. Yes. Amen. Yes. I feel like you're still on your journey of discovering who you are. I feel like no matter how old you are, like you're like midway to knowing yourself. You still have a long way to go to discovering yourself. But I feel like the more time that you invest in yourself and playing with yourself and engaging with yourself, I feel like it's more like one thought leads to the next, right? So I feel like you're very engaged within this development of who you are and learning and just playing with yourself, learning who you are, learning what you like and what you don't like, learning what you think. And I feel like there's times where you kind of catch yourself off guard and you catch other people off guard too. But I feel like that doesn't surprise you. You're used to that. But you're doing things and thinking you're different these days. And I feel like it's catching you off guard in a good way. I feel like you know that you've healed, but your choices, your response, your words, your communications with other people, the way that you handle yourself, the way that you do things are just a higher caliber now. I feel like you have boundaries and borders, and I feel like you're standing by those. You're not anybody's doormat these days. I'm really liking this kind of energy for you. I feel like you've grown and healed a lot. There's a lot of self-review. You've looked at the things that you need to improve on. You've looked at the things you need to stop allowing other people to do. I feel like you're just looking at things. And I feel like you've taken a lot on the chin, Gemini. A lot. I feel like you've taken a lot on the chin. And I feel like there's like an energy within you that there's like this PTSD, right? There's like this like you're trying to settle, but there's like all these things, like you have these experiences, you have these pains. So even though I feel like even though you would like a connection, there's resistance to it, right? There's resistance to a connection. There's a resistance to there's still an element that's like a little girl, that's like in an internal self, your inner self. There's still something within the inner you this is the resistance card, resistance, right? You see, she's blowing the wind, like pushing it back, like, don't come closer, I'm not allowing you in. There's still something that still wants to engage and learn more and proceed forward, but you're not ready yet. I feel like it's like a little bit at a time. Yeah. So it's important. Everybody needs to learn those lessons, right? I feel like we've all had those experiences a lot in childhood of where our needs weren't met. A lot of us are relationships too, right? So especially those of you who you go into childhood and your needs aren't met, then you start a relationship and your needs aren't met, and you just have these patterns of your needs not being met and being over obligated and under appreciated. There's this, it's ugly balance. It's not balance. It's ugly energy from a lack of balance. And I feel like there's been a lot of healing, a lot of realization within you that's allowed more balance to come in, but you're still not seeing something clearly or fully. And I feel like it's mostly in regards to love, but for some of you, it's still just a little bit more from your childhood. I feel like you have looked at a lot of things, but there's still something from your childhood that you need to look at. You need to evaluate. For some of you, it was how you extended your, it's not necessarily in childhood, it's just somewhere in your past. You had extended your faith. Like you had extended your offer or accepted an offer, and it was not what it was. It wasn't truthful, but you didn't follow your intuition, and all that could have been like prevented. Like it's like a lot of people like, oh, come with me, take my hand, come with me, because they have false motives, they have ulterior motives, they have things going on behind the scenes, right? So I feel like there's this energy of like you had to finally like understand, like even though you cared about them, even though you wouldn't like wish them bad or lead them astray, that sometimes that's not always the same that people have intended for you. So I feel like there's a lot of healing, a lot of self-realization that went into play into regards to these situations. Hold on, guys, I need a drink. Stay hydrated. So there's this energy of like, I feel like you've done a bunch of work, Gemini, and now it's like you're taking a break. You're pausing for a moment. I feel like you're trying to recalibrate and see like it's like if you get lost in the jungle and you're like, you come so far out, but now you need to stop and figure out like, okay, where am I now? Where, like, how far do I have to go now? Do I need to correct myself anyway? Do I need to like go more north or turn more east, or like whatever this is for you? Like you're recalibrating, you're reevaluating things and recalibrating, like where do I need to go next and how do I get there from here? There's also some sort of energy in regards to like your inner child or something from your childhood that you still don't fully acknowledge. It hurts too much still. And I feel like you're not fully, you're not ready for that yet, right? It's like that's a deep surgery. That's a big surgery. That's it's a big surgery. And you're like, you can't handle that right now. Your body can't deal with it right now. Something within you is not allowing it to take place. So I feel like it's postponed for right now, and you're just like on recovery right now. You're getting a little R&R. I feel like there's this energy of like, even though there's something that you're not willing to face yet because you're not ready to, you will face it at one point. And I feel like you're getting closer to being able to. And I felt like you've gotten a lot of more, you've made progress. You're closer to being able to face it than what you were a little while ago. No, Rhonda, you got to hold on to your power. Don't let nobody take your power. If they aren't loving you right, then they're not worthy of love. But that does not mean that love is not around the corner for you. I feel like just like Rhonda, like we've all had these experiences of where we put into somebody and they like completely fumbled the ball and maybe even popped the ball and ran it over and like the fuck. And so now we're sitting there like kind of like having to recalibrate, right? Like, where am I now? Where do I want to go? And how do I get there from here? But I feel like there's this energy of yeah, love sounds good. Love looks pretty in the movies. But it's not something, it's not realistic, right? It's not something I've been able to have my faith solid in. And I felt like there's something within that, Gemini, is holding up this inner child stuff. or I don't know. They play together. We're gonna move on and come back. I'm sure we're definitely coming back. That energy is not done yet. But let's move forward because I've talked about it as much as I can right now. We got to get more details, but we're not done. So we're definitely going to come back to that. I feel it still. Hold on. These, for some of you, it feels like painted the walls, like your pain painted the walls, or your pain covers the walls. There's this energy of like, you might feel like the things that you've suffered through, everybody has witnessed it and it's embarrassing, but you can't deny it. You can't run from it. So you just have to like put your head held high and walk through the crowd anyway. It's like a walk of shame, but you're not shameful. You didn't do anything. Like, it's not your fault people hurt you. It's not your fault you had faith and hope in something that you're supposed to be able to. Like, if love is what love is supposed to be, if love is patient, love is kind, love is not boastful, it is slow to anger, it is hopeful in all things. Like, what love is healthy. Love is not pain. Like, they said that forever. Love is pain. No, it's not. No, it's not. Love heals. And there's this other song, Only Love Could Hurt Like This, I think. And I like that song, but that's not true either. Love does not hurt. Love heals. Love endures. Love conquers. Love is healthy. Love is whole. Love is abundant. Love is knowledge. Love is awareness. So if it's not those things, it's not love. And even if it puts on a disguise, like at some point, its true colors bleed through, right? True colors are revealed. And then we get discouraged and we get disappointed. But Gemini, I feel like you've healed, you've learned a lot. So there's this, I think it's Moonlight Tarot. And she said that, I don't know who she said told her, or like she credits somebody else with this story. So I credit her, but I'm going to tell you. So it's basically like you're a bird, right? And you're flying out there and you want to land to fall in love again, but you're scared too. So you just keep flying and you keep flying and you keep flying. And you're just hesitant to fall in love again. So you just keep it moving. But you also have not remembered that you're a bird, and that once you settle down and you land, fall in love, you land on a branch, if it becomes a little bit shaky, then you know when to hold on and to just grip down a little bit more versus it's ridiculous and now I gotta fly, I gotta bounce. There's a difference between a strong wind that I have to leave. It's not healthy. Like my solid, stable foundation is a little shaky and is being compromised and not safe. So I have to leave the situation versus it's just a little wind. It's trials and tribulations and everybody, all relationships go through it. There's a difference between that, right? So just remember, Gemini, you are a bird. You know how to fly. If you get to the point where you want to land, like that looks like a good relationship, I want to try that out and see where that goes, cool, then do that. But at the same time, remember, you know how to fly. So don't let somebody clip your wings. Don't let somebody restrict your boundaries, and like, just be truthful with yourself. Hold yourself accountable for your morals, your boundaries, but also be trusting that not everybody is the same, and that love is free, love is special, love is beautiful, and it's amazing when it's authentic, but not everybody's authentic. And if you're not being an authentic you, and the next person is not being authentic them, you get two people who aren't authentic trying to force a connection, and obviously that's toxic. It's not healthy. So there's this energy of like, be authentically you, allow other people to be authentically them, but be open and ask your questions and keep your borders up and understand you know how to fly. If it gets shaky, you can bounce. You don't have to stay forever. You don't have to wait for that branch to fall and break and hit the ground. If it becomes shaky and unstable in any way, shape, or form, you know how to fly. All right, so now you have eternal self and breaking free. So there's this energy right here. Your intuition is on fire, Gemini. Like, you know. Just keep doing that. Whatever your intuition is telling you, whatever you're inspired to do that. Keep doing that. Don't stop. There's something like there's new cycles, healthy cycles starting for you. It's new things. I feel like you've just like released, like you've accepted it is what it is. And you're just following your intuition. You're allowing your intuition to guide you. I feel like you're making more head over heart decisions than what you ever have before. But I feel like it's yielding like good results. There's something that you're waiting to see bear fruition. You've invested in something, person, place, or thing. And I feel like you're waiting for it to like surface or resurface. I heard resurface. You're waiting for it to come about. Well, let's see. What is this? Gemini. Hold on. We're not doing those yet. I guess we're actually doing these. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, guys. I hope everybody's doing good. I just want to say I'm proud of you. I know that you've gone through hell and high water, and it's been difficult times after difficult times after difficult times. And you've been baptized in fire. But you're strong and you're brave. And I felt like you have healthy borders now, healthy boundaries now from what you've experienced, even though it was difficult, even though there was embarrassing moments, even though there were times like you just felt like you were defeated. You weren't sure how you were going to get through it, but you did. And the next day came, and the next day came, and the next day came. And you healed those energies. I feel like there's a lot of things within you. There's a lot of progression, a lot of like balance, positive forward movement. There's a lot of benefit. I keep hearing benefit. For some of you, there's a lot of benefit in the difficulty and the trials and tribulations. You've learned a lot, but I feel like you've also you've prospered in some way, shape, or form because of it as well. Oh, yes. Yes. You should be proud of yourself too. All of you. Hold on. It's important for you to acknowledge you are strong, you are brave, you are lovable. Like for me, that was something for a while. Like it was awkward. It was awkward for me to say I am lovable. But I say that very confident, very proud now. Like I know that I am lovable. I know whoever's in my environment is going to treat me with respect and love me and be authentic, or it's not, there's no forward movement if not. Okay. Card came out is 33's prophecy. So you already know something. Your intuition already tells you something, Gemini. There's something you need to speak. Even if you're not sure, even if you're not confident. Like when I first started doing these readings, guys, I was like, I would feel things, I would hear things, I wouldn't want to say it. But then I was like, okay, I'm going to just say it. But it resonates with people. Like Gemini, you're the messenger of spirit. There's things you get downloads, and sometimes they're not just for you. Sometimes the downloads you get are helpful for the people in your environment as well. I feel like there's some sort of energy. There's energy within you. You know how to talk to spirits. You know how to process downloads. And I feel like you're like releasing that, any resistance in that. You're just going with the flow. You've accepted yourself, and you're embracing yourself with open arms. But back to what I was saying, you struggled through things, and it's okay to say, I went through that situation, but more importantly, it's better to tell yourself, I went through that situation, but I am stronger now. I am brave because of it. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Like you can overcome anything. And I know it hasn't been easy, and I am proud of you because I know you got through it. You're here right now, and it was not easy. And I'm sorry it was difficult, but I am proud of you and I'm grateful for you. I'm glad you got through it. I'm glad you followed your intuition. And Gemini, keep on following your intuition. Forward movement all the time. And just acknowledge how awesome you are. Like, you're sorry that those weren't meant to come out, but that was, so that's why all that happened. And then you have this down here too. So I just think, like, and a lot of people make it sound like, oh, you're just arrogant, or like, I think it's healthy to be confident in yourself. And if you don't praise yourself, how can you be confident in yourself? If you sit there and think like you can't acknowledge how awesome you are, and like, when you have those days of where it like you cry and you want to cry and you just can't because you got too much shit to do, but you just go through the day because you have to do it even though you don't want to, those days are not easy and they do not end quickly. So I'm proud of you, Gemini. I am grateful you got through it because not everybody does, and it hasn't been easy. And you turned your struggle into triumph. You've turned it into lessons. You turned it into progression. And that's a win on its own. And you're freaking do it alchemy. You take the BS that people freaking give you and you make it into beautiful lessons, beautiful symphonies for other people to learn from and enjoy and watch and whatever. So I'm proud of you, and you should be proud of yourself more than anything else. That's more important than anything, more than your parents being proud of you, more than your kids being proud of you, more than your spouse. You need to be proud of you. You need to acknowledge how strong that you are, how far you've come, and just you're the ish. I love you, Gemini. You're amazing. So let's look at these cards that we got, because we got quite a few. All right. First, well, second card, you have 13 breaks down to a 4. Intuition. All right, Gemini. You have prophecy and intuition. I can't tell you anymore. Like, you know what you're doing. Don't let anybody else cause you to doubt yourself. Like, you know, trust yourself in spirit. You don't need anybody else's approval. Like, you know, spirit told you. You follow your instructions. That's all you need to do. You know, your intuition tells you, spirit tells you so. I just heard that, like, that the BIBLE, because the Bible tells me so. There's something you know this to be true because the Bible tells you so. For some of you, take it as it resonates. I'm more spiritual than religious, so no judgment here, and don't judge me either. Appreciate you. But I feel like there's like, right? You have your intuition. You have secrets. Like, you don't reveal everything. But I feel like there's like, for some of you, you might have told somebody, you said something, and it's gonna come to be. Like, you are somebody who you have a strong, powerful intuition, but you are also a prophet. Like, you can prophesy things. You're very magical, Gemini. I feel like people are very shocked and impressed, and some of them are scared a little bit. But there's this energy of like, you can connect with like ancestral things, like I don't know how to say it. Like special energies, like spiritual, like you have spiritual gifts, right? And you can use those gifts to like receive downloads. Like you have a special ability to like touch in with spirit. Like I don't know how to explain this. it's like if everybody was at school, right? If we were all going to school, everybody's in elementary when it comes to like how they communicate with spirit. But I feel like Gemini is in college in how we communicate with spirit. Like it's a whole different level. It's just different. Not that it's better, not that it's bad, or it's just different, right? Everybody has their own levels. And I feel like Gemini connects with spirit different than everybody else. All the other signs do. Like it's just natural. It's free flowing. It's we just receive these downloads, and I don't know how to explain. You're Gemini, so I don't need to explain it to you, because if this resonates with you, you already know. But you receive these downloads, and there's going to be a point where you speak them. You speak them and then they come out to be. Like for some of you, this is speaking. For some of you, this is speaking. You might be wanting a relationship, a car, a house. You're speaking it into existence. You're manifesting something. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. I feel like Gemini, like we know, like we connect with it. Like it's like that, those waves that do the internet, or the internet. You can't see those waves, but they do stuff that everybody else eventually could see. I feel like Geminis are basically those waves, right? We're the ones that are processing the stuff and like sharing it with people, and they don't understand. And like, I don't know. We try to make it more playful and more fun most of the time. I feel like we snap. We have our moments for sure when we snap, but most of the time we just want to be playful, and we want it to be fun, and like just to be fun, like, right? To understand where, I don't know. I'm going on a tangent now, but I feel like we're basically those wavelengths, right? Like we're on a higher level, and so people don't understand it. If you're not, so it's basically like if you have these like things that your heritage does, people don't understand it unless they're from that heritage. Likewise, Gemini does things. We have gifts, just like every sign has gifts of their own. We have like specials, like we're the communications of spirit. We're the link between spirit and this realm, right? So we have a different type of frequency, a different connection, different wavelength between us and spirit, between our intuition, between how we're processing and receiving information and downloads, and how we engage with it all. And I feel like no other sign understands it nobody understands it unless if you're not from that heritage, you can hear about it, but you won't understand it. That's the best I can say. All right. So now you have rest after labor. Number 26 breaks down to an 8. 8 is basically your intuition, right? It's the, oh my gosh, the infinity sign, right? So I feel like there's something like in this card too, there's been something you went through. It was like exhausting. Like you had to like pull all of your energy to get through it. And I felt like for any of you who've gone through labor, like a hard labor, and you're pushing, not C-sections, like this is pushing. For some of you, there's a moment there that you might doubt, like, is this gonna finish? Like, am I gonna get out of this? And it's like just a moment. But I remember I had that moment one time, but it's very short-lived. But in that moment, it feels like it goes like forever. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna get out of this. Like, but you have to just trust and go with it. Like, be in that moment and like relax and trust, and let go and trust. Right. And I felt like there's this energy of like you're trying to recover after all the crap you've been through, all the struggle, all the healing, all the cleaning. There's been a lot going on for Gemini. There's been like, for some of you, you've moved, you've changed relationship, you might have changed job. There's been like, you internally have done a lot of changing. For some of you, you might have actually had a child. But there's a need for you to have some R&R for yourself. And I feel like there's some unknown energy still in your environment that you used to like focus. You used to want to know, right? You used to want to know. And now, like, you just relax. You're not worried about the unknown. You're not worried about the stresses of like day to day. You just relax into it. And I feel like you're enjoying your moment. I feel like things are just kind of like, and if you're not, you should be. And I feel like that energy is going to soon be coming for you. I feel like you're like, if you're not, it's because you're still in labor. You're still pushing out whatever it is that you've been creating and just stating. Hi, Lily. So I feel like there's like it's like a pause for the cause, right? You're resting right now. You're healing. You're allowing yourself to like repair and rejuvenate from the hardship that you just, like, all the traumas that you've experienced in life, right? Everybody being disappointed, all the people cheating and lying and being deceitful all the time. Like, you're healing from that. You're taking a pause right now. I feel like I don't feel like you're necessarily in a relationship. If you are, it's definitely, you have your guards up. It's not like come and get to know me and I'm going to bare my soul right now, unless you trust that person. I feel like people very much still have to like prove themselves to you and earn their right now. I don't feel like many people have. I feel like, yeah, I feel like you have your boundaries now, and they're healthy. And I feel like not many people are like making the cut, if you understand. Like, there's a difference between friends, acquaintances, and best friends, right? There's levels and tiers to this. All right. Then you have 30, justice. So I feel like things are balancing out for you, Gemini. There's this energy of you've dealt with a lot of crap for sure, but things are turning around for your greater good. Things are starting to be more fair for you. You're starting to see, like, if it's not working out for me, if there's not equal reciprocity, I'm just not doing it. I felt like there was a point in time where you would, like, you didn't care. Like, if they needed it, you met that need. And I felt like now you're thinking about, is it healthy for me to meet that need? Can I realistically meet that need? Like, there's balancing. I feel like there's a reviewing. You're reviewing more. I feel like you're trying to lean on your intuition as well. I feel like you're more thoughtful. Not thoughtful, but you're more you're methodical and you're evaluating things. You're not just blind faith going for somebody and agreeing with somebody. You're like making decisions with educated decisions. Yeah. You're making educated decisions. And then number 9, breaking illusions. Okay, so that reminded me to this card, breaking free, right? So there's things like, people had expectations of you, Gemini, right? They expect you to be a liar. They expect you to be flaky. They expect you to be a cheater. They expect. Expect what you want. Call me what you want. I know who I am. And I don't have to play your role because I know who I am. Like, you don't need somebody to write a screenplay for you. You live your own life. Like, you're not interested in filling the character that they're trying to set you up as. You're being yourself. I feel like there was transitions, right? There was like a lot, like, I feel like there was a large period of time where you didn't know who you were. You were trying to blend into what people, like, where were we? You were trying to blend. You were trying to blend in to what people expected from you, right? You were the chameleon. Tell me what you want and I'll, whatever so you're happy with me, so we can get along, whatever this is for you, right? It's a lot of people pleasing energy. And so you did what they wanted you to do, to blend in, to put on a brave face, you put on a smile, you acted the role, you played the part. But I felt like over time, you couldn't play that part anymore because your true self needed to come through, needed to shine through. And I felt like you were starting, like, I felt like you lost yourself, even though you didn't fully know yourself, until you got forced to like play this role. and realize your true self. You didn't know who you were until you had to face yourself. I don't know if that makes sense. Amen. Amen. I love that, Rhonda. That's right. You don't need anybody to complete you because you're 100,000% complete. Now, go ahead and compliment. That's a good thing, but no completing. I'm already complete. I agree. I love that. And you're not playing the role anymore. Like you are learning yourself and you're allowing that to come through. You're taking off the mask. You're not feeling the role anymore just to fill a role. And then number 19, relaxed energy. Yeah, so I feel like you're just relaxing into it, right? So many times, like the dark night of the soul, if anybody has heard about that, like, oh, that's the best advice for real. So that's the best advice you can get is relax into it. Whew. If you don't know what to do, like, don't fight the tide, right? Relax into it. There's this energy of like you were struggling against something so long to the point that it just exhausted you. And you fought against it because you wanted something different. You wanted something better. You didn't know how to, I don't know, you didn't know how to make this connection, how to bring peace to this connection, how to like solidify this connection, make this connection more intimate, like emotionally intimate. And there was like a need to just like relax into the energy, like give in to what it is, like let the chips fall where they're going to, and don't have expectations, don't have control in the situation. You have to just go with the flow and let the chips fall where they may. I feel like there's a lot of times where you lost yourself, you lost your emotions in waiting for somebody else to meet your emotions, meet your emotional needs. I felt like you were kind of like, for some of you, there wasn't anybody there should have been somebody, like you might have been in a relationship, but the person you were in a relationship was not emotionally stable or balanced, and they could not meet your needs because they could not meet their own needs. And I felt like you had to, like, you found balance within yourself, like yourself and spirit, like you retreating and relaxing into the aloneness. I felt like that brought in balance. That brought in healing. That brought in like rediscovery. Like it brought calm to the crazy. And now you're appreciating your lessons. I feel like you value the hard lessons. Some of the hard lessons, some of them are still like, some of the lessons are still like very traumatic, and you haven't fully healed through those lessons yet. But I feel like majority of the lessons, like you see the silver lining, you see the benefit because you learned the lesson from the traumatic experience. I feel like you're just relaxing into it now. You're not forcing anything. Gemini. You've released control. You're just going with the flow, and what is meant for you will come in, and what's not will be released naturally. I feel like you're just like you're trusting. It's very calm. It's peaceful. It's very like what is meant for me will not pass me by. It's very healing. It's very balanced. This is energy that you manifest in. This energy of like things are always working out for me. So like this is very positive. Like basically, like if I was to lose my job today, I know it's because it's for my greater good, because there's something greater around the corner. Like relax into the energy and don't resist it, because things are always working out for your greater good. I like that energy, Gemini. You're finding balance and you're finding peace. I feel like Spirit has given you a lot of comfort. It's brought stability, it brought awareness, enlightenment to you. You've gotten a lot of downloads. Gemini, you've received a lot of downloads, or you're going to receive a lot of downloads in March. Amen. And then you have number 39 breaks down to a, what is that, 12? Yeah, 12 breaks down to a 3, personal alchemy. So you are the magician within yourself, right? You take those energies that are toxic within you because somebody disappointed you, abandoned you, neglected you, lied to you, were toxic and shady, and you turn that around. You turn those into lessons to heal you, to strengthen you, to do better next time. I feel like you've changed these, like you've taken this pain that you have, Gemini, you've taken this pain and you transitioned it to something beautiful. You've healed something and you've turned it in, like beauty for ashes. Like you took something like you took something ugly, you took something that nobody would want, and you turned it into something beautiful, something mesmerizing, something that very you're proud of. Oh, I like that, Gemini. So you took these disappointments, these difficult emotions, these hard moments, and you've learned something and you've grown from them, and you're proud and you're inspired now. And now other people see you as you inspire them. They see you as beautiful. Like you've transitioned this energy. It's beautiful, Gemini. Number 4, purification. Yeah, so you've changed that energy, right? You've purified the energy. You took something that was intended to be toxic for you, and you've turned it into help you move forward to progression. You've turned it into lessons. You've turned the darkness into light. That's beautiful. I like that. And then you have 21 breaks down to a 3, dream work. So there's things like for some of you you manifest, you do things when you're like in your dreaming, you're manifesting, you teleport when you dream, when you're sleeping. For some of you, you're getting a lot of downloads when you're dreaming. So make sure you write your dreams down when you first wake up, or keep a paper and pen next to your bed, so that when you wake up, or if you wake up in the middle of the night, you can write down your thoughts or your dreams. But I felt like you're getting you have a lot of power in those morning hours. You're getting a lot of inspiration and a lot of downloads. It's like the late night, early morning hours is your peak for manifestation. Make sure, Gemini, if you get up early, make sure you imagine what you want your life to look like, because you can create that. We have a lot of cards out here about your intuition and alchemizing things, right? You manifest and you manipulate energy, but in a healthy way. It's not negative in any way, shape, or form. I feel like you can take negative energies and turn them around to be a positive for somebody, for yourself and other people in your environment, right? Like you can take hard things that you learned, things that you had experienced, and share that with somebody else to help them become more enlightened, more hopeful. Like, oh, Gemini got through this, I can get through it too. I can do it too. I feel like you encourage and motivate people in your environment, and you don't even realize it half the time. And then you have 24, breaks down to a 6, and you have friendship. So Gemini, it just reminded me of the twins right now. I feel like you are your best friend right now. I feel like you are I feel like you are playful with yourself. I feel like I feel like there's times where you what is it? It's like you catch you catch yourself off guard, like you surprise yourself, I don't know how to say this. Like you think you're funny, and I would agree. Like you think you're funny, you think you're impressive, you think you're very confident right now, Gemini. I felt like you're proud of how far you've come. We've had a couple cards of reviewing things. We have life review. And then like the way that they're looking right here, it looks like they're like looking at something a little bit closer. Like when the teacher, did I see that? Did I hear you? Did I hear you correctly? But they're smiling too though, right? It's like this playful energy. I feel like you're getting back to yourself. I feel like you're very happy with who you are. I feel like I feel like you are proud of yourself, Gemini. I feel like you, like looking back how far you've come, what you've gone through, I feel like you are very proud of yourself. And I feel like it's this playful energy. Like, I don't know. It's like you're very hopeful. And if you're not, you should be, or you will be around April-ish area. You'll start to be. There's things that are growing and manifesting. Like you're creating and you're very abundant right now. But I feel like there's still something in the background that you're unknown, you're unaware of. Something's manifesting and creating, and it's slowly coming into light, right? It's getting closer and closer. I feel like there's something within your intuition that's telling you something about like your emotions and your divine path. Like what spirit intends for you. I feel like you know that you're special, right? You're one of a kind. You're one in a million. There's no one ever like you on the planet. There never has been. There never will be again. You're very unique. You're beautiful inside and out. And I felt like you're starting to acknowledge that about yourself. And if you're not, you should be. And I feel like people in your environment are very impressed with you, Gemini. People want to engage with you more. All right. That has been your little bonus reading. Until next time, I'm sending you lots of love and light. I'm very proud of you, Gemini. Be kind to yourself and to others. Bye. I'll probably be back on in soon. Let's see how far we can get our views up. Appreciate you guys. Love you. You just always have to follow your intuition all the time. Follow your intuition. Do what's best for you. The greater good. The best next right thing. All right. I love you guys. Until next time, I'm sending you lots of love and light. Be kind to yourself and to others. And I'm very proud of you, Gemini. Keep up the good work. Keep being you. Nobody does it better.